How you boys doing?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
I think that's in very bad taste.
What's up, man? It's Vash, and I was just reading through Gokukoku no Brynhildr. It kind of tripped me out, though, because it's known by a different title on Manga Panda, so I was kind of thrown off by that, but I was just reading through it, though, man. I know a lot of people were into it, you know what I'm saying? They watched the anime, and it was the same creator, you know what I'm saying, of Elfen Lied. What's his name? Lin Akamoto or something like that. I know his name was Lin, so it's the same creator, and in the early aspects of the show, the anime especially, and the manga, we can see that. We can see the elements of Elfen Lied, you know what I'm saying, with the aliens and the whole thing, you know what I'm saying, with just kind of just natural despair that characters have to go through with childhood friends supposedly dying, and now he's thrown into a situation, you know what I'm saying? Just like how in Elfen Lied in the anime, you know what I'm saying, the guy was thrown into a situation because of Lucy or New, you know what I'm saying, or what's her name? Kaede, or whatever the fuck her name was if you read the manga or whatever. You know, dude was thrown into a situation that he kind of, I'm not going to say he came through it unscathed, but he adapted to the situation very, very well. Just like in Gokukoku no Brynhildr, Murakami is thrown into the situation and he just kind of adapts, and he's able to sustain the witches' lives, you know what I'm saying, for quite a long period of time, you know what I'm saying, and help them to live lives, you know what I'm saying, as normal girls. You know, it's kind of heartwarming. But I'm reading chapters now, I'm just kind of like, wow, that sense of drama, for the most part, has just disappeared, and it has really turned into a love comedy with slight elements of drama. It's just a supernatural, because at first, like, the genre of this is considered dark fantasy, but I don't even know if you can put it that way. Now, it might be a dark romantic comedy, but it's not a dark, I mean, fantasy, yeah, because of the powers, but they don't even use those anymore for the most part. They really are just living a normal sort of life. I just read chapter 132, and I was just like, okay, let me go back a little bit. In the beginning, it was just really like, I noticed after Hatsuna and the situation that happened with the student in her class. I'm not going to reveal it because a lot of people probably haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to spoil it, but a situation happened with her and a fellow male student in the class. Something happened, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Something happened. So then, I'm just kind of like, okay, since then, the drama aspect of it has since departed. There is no drama. Hold on for 1 second, because I'm seeing something in the background. This computer is kind of fucking me up, because it's about to start, so hold on 1 second. Alright, I'm back. But, yeah, like, the aspect of drama seems like it's disappeared, because in this most recent chapter, you know, it's kind of, of course it's continuing from the last chapters, but it's leading up to Kazumi wanting to go on a date with Murakami, you know what I'm saying, because she wants him to know what her feelings are, you know what I'm saying, honest and truthfully, you know. But Murakami still has that thing with Neko because, you know, he knows that's his childhood friend, but her memories have since disappeared because of her using the power that she has. You know what I'm saying? She's just completely forgotten who he is, but it's something about him that she's kind of remembering. It's that phantom memory sort of thing, and he's still plagued by that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's not trying to force it out of her, you know what I'm saying? It's just, he's trying to let it happen naturally, trying to reacquaint himself with her, and vice versa. So there's that aspect, and Kazumi knows that. She knows that that's happening, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for her to want to act on her feelings, but she started to do it, which I respect. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I did a video a while back talking about shipping wars. That's what this has turned into. It's turned into the shipping war manga, which it kind of disappointed me because I was thinking this was going to be as gory and as psychological as Elfen Lied was, because that shit was, if you read the manga, that shit was, ooh, that shit didn't end good. You know what I'm saying? For anybody. Like, that shit was horrible. That shit was like, ooh. So I was just thinking that that's what this was going to be like, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, we have a lot of characters, you know what I'm saying? And at one point, I'm not going to go into full detail, but at one point, I thought that Kazumi was going to die. Like, I really did think she was going to die. I thought at one point Hatsuna herself was going to die. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I was just like, wow, we just keep losing all these characters. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I didn't care about Chisato dying. He was a bad guy. I really didn't care. So I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, like, we're gonna keep losing these characters. Just like in Elfen Lion, the aspect of death is always there. So I was like, wow, this is gonna be cool. But now it just seems like it's turned into like a romance sort of thing, man. It's always about Kazumi trying to express herself towards Murakami, and Murakami trying to get those memories into Neko so she can remember who he is, and they can explore whatever the fuck relationship they had when they was younger. It's just kind of weird to me though, man, because I miss the... to me, that's not drama if it starts off with characters having powers. I don't care about the romance aspect of it then. Like, that's why I don't understand why people care that much about Naruto. You have ninjas who can shoot flames out of their mouths and make clones of themselves and manipulate water and have these ocular powers, and you care about who's going to end up with who. I mean, it's fun to talk about it, but it's not a general factor for me. So that's how I feel with this Gokukoku no Brynhildr. It's not a factor for me if Murakami ends up with Kuroha or if he ends up with Kazumi. I really don't give a fuck. I just want to know, are they going to survive in the end? Because Murakami is the only human amongst this group. Well, Murakami is the only human amongst this group. So I'm just kind of like, he should have been died. You know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't have even been around long enough to help them do anything, because he's the only human amongst this group. He's the only regular guy amongst his group, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, what's going to happen there? And the witches themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to be able to reach adulthood? Because who knows how long this medicine can be produced? Are they finally going to be able to get the alien life forms out of them without dying, without the enzymes, you know what I'm saying, just factoring in and decaying them from the inside out? Like, what's going to happen there? But as of now, it's just turned into a shipping war. It's just like Kazumi versus Kuroha. You know what I'm saying? Kazumi already likes Murakami. Murakami likes Neko. Neko doesn't remember Murakami. She feels some type of way about him, but I'm just like, that. Why is that the highlight of the series? Why is that? Why is that the highlight of the series? You know what I'm saying? Like, certain aspects of the series I get. Like in Shigatsu or Your Lie in April, I get, you know, people saying, oh, I want Arima to end up with Tsubaki, and I want Arima to end up with Kayori. It's there, and it's a fucking romance. Like, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that one itself is a romance. I mean, a romance manga / anime. I get it. I fucking get that. I really do fucking get that. But and say Akame got killed, why do people care who Tatsumi ends up with? Well, I want Tatsumi to end up with Esdale. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's fun to talk about, but why is that the deciding factor? It's not for me anyway. I never have really cared if that is the deciding factor of a show for me. I've never really cared about this shit. I mean, and this is coming from a guy whose anime career started off watching Chūnibyō, which in itself is a harem anime. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Do I have my preference? Of course. I like Ryoko better. And it's only because she's a free spirit, and I feel like Ayeka is just too much of a princess, a shelter girl. I don't like that shit. I want a girl who's free, who's able to think for herself, you know what I'm saying, and not just kind of thinking because of what she's supposed to do and what's based on her family lineage and all that sort of shit. So that's my preference. But do I care who Tenshin ends up with? Fuck no. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. I really don't care. I really did not care. When I watched Full Metal Alchemist for the first time, I was not thinking, oh my God, I hope Ed and Winry end up together. I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I hope these cats survive in the end. I hope they find a way to get their bodies back. Oh my God, I hope they don't have to kill their mother again. And they did. All that stuff happened. I was just like, oh my God, they were just sad as shit. You know what I'm saying? I was never thinking about that. Like right now, as I'm watching Negima, and I was like, okay, I'm about to rewatch Negima. I didn't really care about the anime that much. I started reading the manga, it was shit. But when I started reading Yuki Holder, I was just kind of like, wow, people really care about Toda and who he's going to end up with romantically. I'm like, why do you give a fuck? Why do you care? I never really understood that though, man. It really fucked me up because I was just like, wow, I did not know for that many people that was a deciding factor for something. I always thought that it was just fun to talk about, but I guess that is a deciding factor for like a deal breaker if it doesn't go their way. You know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of weird for me though, man. I was just like, wow. You know, but I talked about that in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But I just read something else on Anime News Network that I thought was cool. Shitai Filmworks has announced its English dub cast for Love and Other Delusions, Chūnibyō, or whatever it's called. Yeah, that one. Chūnibyō, the one with Togashi and Rika and all those characters, the Dark Flame Master and the Eye and all that sort of shit. They released their dub cast, you know, and I read some comments on the Anime News Network that I want to address, and there's all these people who were saying, no, I will not watch the dub. As a sub fan, I will not watch the dub, and blah, 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 blah. I just want to say, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. These clips, I watched them myself. It's 4 clips with the 4 female characters, you know what I'm saying? With Kumin, with Dekamori, with Rika, and with Shibutani. Just those 4. It's just those 4. They're 26 seconds. And like the first 8 seconds is literally just the song being played. The first 8 seconds is the song being played, and the rest of the character's dialogue isn't even part of the show. It's just a person who is doing the voice entering sound bites as to how the character is going to sound. The character themselves doesn't even really say anything that's actual dialogue. It's references to the actual dialogue, but it's not the dialogue itself. And I read some comments, people saying like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? When I heard Rika's voice, I was like, no, I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my god, Sentai shit works for the win. I was like, dude, this is, again, this is like a 16-second thing with the female talk. Her name is Margaret McDonald, for those of you who don't know. She's doing the voice of Rika. I've only seen her in like, I've only heard her voice in one other thing, which was Mayo Chiki. She did the voice of Masamune Usami, I'm sorry. I just made the joke for the show. But she did her voice, and that was Margaret McDonald. And I was just kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I read that, I was like, okay, at least they're not picking the same voice. Because I was thinking, as soon as I saw Rika, and I saw that since I had this shit, I was like, oh my god, that's going to be Monica Rial. Just because I know they love using her voice and everything, I was just like, fuck, man, I don't want to hear that shit again, you know? But I saw it was Margaret McDonald. I was like, oh, okay, I fuck with that, you know what I'm saying? And people were just kind of like, oh my god, like, listen to how deep her voice was. You know what I'm saying? Like, her voice was so deep, and it was just like, oh, it didn't fit Toka. I mean, it didn't fit Rika. And I was just like, dude, Margaret McDonald has range. Because from, like, just hearing that sound bite, I was like, wow, her voice is way deeper than when she did Usami. You know what I'm saying? And Mayo Chiki. So I was just kind of like, wow, she does have range. So I'm assuming that she's going to do both voices. She's going to do the serious, you know what I'm saying, I have the evil eye, I have to contain my evil eye. She's going to talk real seriously, and then she's going to switch up, just like the Japanese voice actress did. So when she's talking to Togashi, she's going to be the higher one. I was just like, yeah, I fuck with that. The cast includes the same guy who did the voice of Takashi Komuro in High School of the Dead. I can't pronounce his name. It's like Laurando Anzo. He some Hispanic name. I can't pronounce his name. And he's going to voice Togashi. Who else is there? Maggie Fleckino. She's voicing Shibutani, which I thought was a good look because it sounds, you know what I'm saying, kind of the same. I was just kind of like, okay, I fuck with that. Brittany Karbowski is voicing Dekamori, which I was just kind of like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds like Brittany Karbowski. Like, it was nothing different was about it. I was kind of like, okay, it sounds like Brittany, whatever. And who else? Emily Neves, or how do you say her name? Neves. Emily Neves. She's the one who did the voice of, who did she do the voice of? She did the voice of, who was she? Just drew a blank. Who was she? Oh yeah, she did the voice of what's the girl's name? Fuck. And Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. She was the main girl, the ghost girl. Yuko. Yuko-san. Wait. Was that it? Yeah, Yuko-san. Yeah, she did Yuko. She also did the voice in Clannad. She was the chick who tried to play the violin, but I can't remember nobody's fucking name right now. Jesus. Her name was... Cause she said this shit when she was talking to fucking... Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank and I feel so retarded right now. She said it when she was talking to Nagisa. Her name was... I can't remember, but she did the voice of that chick who couldn't play the violin. Fuck, I feel like a fucking douche right now. She also did the voice of the purple-haired chick in Future Diaries. The chick who was the terrorist who had the eye patch or whatever. Yeah, she did that voice. And Monica Rial is in the show. You know what I'm saying? The only one who I don't agree with, the only voice that I didn't agree with as far as this was assigned was I didn't like Greg playing the buddy, the friend, the male friend. I didn't like that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really like They want to throw Greg in everything. I'm just kind of like, dude, I would rather you had just got a random nobody to play this guy, because it's not like the guy is in the series a lot, so you didn't have to throw Greg in there. I'm just tired of hearing this squeaky pitch voice. I'm just tired of hearing this shit. But I just want to talk about this for a second. I want to talk about when people always say that the sub is superior to the dub. You know what I'm saying? I just want to talk about that for a second, man. And this is my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? You can have your opinion on it. If you think the sub is superior to the dub, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Just tell me why. Don't just say because it is. Just explain to me why. Because what I've found is that which one I've seen first, I prefer to the other. So I can give you an example of this. The first season of Haganai, I watched in English. The second season, before it was released on DVD and Blu-ray, I had to watch in Japanese. So season 1, I prefer in English. Season 2, I prefer in Japanese. The same fucking series. This is the same series, but I prefer season 2 in English because I heard it. I prefer season 2 in Japanese because I watched it in Japanese first. You see what I'm saying? Like with Death Note, I watched Death Note in English first. I watched it in English first. I prefer it in English. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? There have been exceptions to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the earlier part of Bleach, I prefer in English. But as the series continued on, I prefer it in Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Like that it's just how it is. I feel like whichever one you watch first is the one that you're going to prefer. And most of the time, damn it, all of the time, you're watching it in Japanese first. So you're going to prefer that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that the Japanese voice actors and actresses are just leaps and bounds ahead of the American voice actors and actresses. It's just that you heard it first, so that's what you're going to fuck with first. You know what I'm saying? Like, Johnny Young Bosch himself won an award for voicing Lelouch, just like Jun Fukuyama did. Jun Fukuyama, I'm sorry. So I'm just kind of like, that means they were both great. It's just that you heard one first and preferred it over the other one. And that's just what I feel, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but I just want somebody to explain to me why. Why would you just be like, oh, the dub is shit automatically without even having watched it? You know what I'm saying? Certain dubs bring a certain quality to the anime, you know what I'm saying, the American version, and the Japanese version lacks because of the, you know, the translation issue, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. I'm just like, there's no harm in it, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I watch High School DxD, you know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning, I was just like, okay, in season 1, I preferred it in Japanese because I was kind of like the English translation was so fucking cheesy and corny that I just couldn't hear it. The voices weren't bad at all. You know what I'm saying? The voices weren't bad. I just felt that it was cheesy as fuck. I felt it was cheesy as shit. You know what I'm saying? Hearing a character say pimp juice and all that shit, I was just kind of like, yeah, that shit cheesy as fuck. I couldn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear white people say stuff like that, though, it just made me cringe. Cause it was like, oh my God, like, I know they embarrassed saying it, and I'm embarrassed hearing it. So I was just like, wow, what the fuck? You know? But in season 2, I was just like, okay, you know, Jamie Markey stepped her game up, and she got some updated references and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because she just kind of just took it to just, you know, it was better. I was just kind of like, yeah, season 2 of High School DxD in English, I watched it. I love it. I love it. Watch something in the Japanese version. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was great. You know, but this video has gone on long enough, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to talk about Gokukoku no Brynhildr for a bit, you know what I'm saying? But I ended up talking about a lot of other stuff, so I gotta make this one into a breakfast hour video. Fuck. But I'm gonna upload some gameplay footage of me playing Far Cry 4. I've gotten into that. And I'm gonna try to see if I can pick up Dying Light either like tomorrow or like on Friday, some shit like that. I don't know. I'm gonna try to see, you know what I'm saying? Work's been a lot. School's been a lot. So I haven't been having much time to really do a gameplay. That's why that last one I did was like only like 7 or 8 minutes. I never, my brother playing. I wasn't even playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But let me know what you guys think about everything I talked about. I'll probably make another video in like another 10 or 12 minutes or so. You know what I'm saying? I got something else to talk about. But it's a separate subject entirely. So there's that. But let me know what you guys think about all this stuff, man. Match St.